This is a pretty action-packed raid, and it can get out of hand. This raid, kind of like Hound of Zoriat, can cascade out of control really, really fast if people are not diligent about killing the trash. So what's going to happen is once we get in the main part of the raid, there's going to be mobs that spawn out of like these elevators in the back, and they're going to run towards the lava. And if they hit the lava, they will become Forge Wraiths. So we really want to try to kill the trash before they turn into Forge Wraiths. And a great way to do that is to keep dancing balls up at their spawn point. So there's like 3 elevator doors in the back at the bottom to keep dancing balls up in front of. And then there's a spot where they drop down from the upper deck. It's kind of out in the center, kind of like a little bit behind the tank. And so there's 4 dancing ball locations that are really good to keep up, because that way when the trash hits the dancing balls, it just stops them in their tracks and they dance. And dancing balls have a long duration, you know, if you're not doing Reaper. And we're just going to be doing normal for this. The Forge Wraiths in this dungeon in this raid have a special mechanic where if you kill a Forge Wraith near another Forge Wraith, the remaining living Forge Wraiths will be healed to full, and they will evolve to a larger Forge Wraith. There's 3 tiers of Forge Wraiths in here. There's like the regular smallest ones that are yellow named. There's the medium-sized ones that are orange named, and then there's the Forge Wraith giants that are red named. So if you kill a yellow one and there's another yellow one nearby, that remaining yellow one will turn orange, and he'll heal to full and become even tougher. If you kill a Forge Wraith and there's an orange one nearby, that orange one will get even bigger and turn into a red one. So, you know, if people aren't disciplined about killing trash, you can get overwhelmed by Forge Wraiths. And if you're killing Forge Wraiths near other Forge Wraiths, you know, they can just start turning into giants, and then you can just be completely overwhelmed by giant Forge Wraiths in no time. And it gets absolutely insane when that happens. The boss is going to be like a gargantuan Forge Wraith, and he's going to be like coming out of like a pool of lava, and we're going to be standing on like grating and standing at the edge. If you're a melee, you want to make sure it's kind of like Caught in the Web, where you need to be at the edge to be able to DPS the boss, kind of like Loth. But you don't, obviously you don't want to be too far and fall off. If you fall in the lava, you'll die. But if you're too far back, you might not be getting damage numbers. So when you're DPSing this boss, you want to make sure that you're getting damage numbers. So the tank will be off to the left, trying to like get the boss's aggro like off on a diagonal, and the party will be on the right. And they'll be like, we'll have healing focused on the party, and there'll be trash killers in this case. Soul Mine's gonna do trash, and Wooter's gonna help with dancing balls. Okay, Tanya can help with trash too, thank you. So there's weird puzzles to do. They're these lever puzzles, and I'm gonna pull up a diagram on the live stream to help explain it. So if you can pull up the live stream, that would be helpful. Okay, so the puzzles are gonna have like 7 levers, right? The first 6 levers, 7 levers on the right, and it looks different. The first 6 levers control these signal crystals, and each time you pull the lever, it'll toggle the signal crystal a different color between red, blue, yellow, and green. And you have to toggle the levers to, get the 6 signal crystals to be in a certain combination. And the combination is dictated by a panel that is like when we step into the main part. So like here's puzzle 1. It shows that puzzle 1 is going to be green, red, yellow, green, blue, green. And here's the solution for puzzle 2. Here's the solution for puzzle 3. And here's the solution for puzzle 4. These signal crystals refer to if the coolant tanks down below are taken care of. If they're green, it means the coolant tanks are fine. I never bother looking at these. I just look at the coolant tanks down below. It's easy enough to see them down below. So when you're a puzzler, you want to make sure that you get the correct solution for the puzzle you're assigned to, and then you go to the correct puzzle. It's very easy to, look at the wrong solution or go to the wrong puzzle. It's really, really important because this, you can see the solutions are all different and it's random. So you need to pull the levers to change the colors of the crystals to match the solution. What makes it wonky is that the levers don't correspond to the signal crystal right in front of it. So it's like on puzzles 1 and 2, the first lever toggles the second signal crystal, and the second lever toggles the 5th signal crystal, and the third lever is the first, and so on. So it's because they're not lined up, it makes it, it kind of throws you off. Now, if you want, you can bring up this diagram when you're doing the puzzles. What I do is I just go from left to right. I pull the left lever, I just look to see what signal crystal it toggles, and I toggle that until it's the correct color. And then I move on to the next lever. I pull it, I see which signal crystal it's toggling, and then I just pull it until that's the correct color. And so on and so forth until I get all signal crystals in the color combination that I want. Then you pull the 7th lever, which is like a sideways lever. It's a different looking lever. You pull the 7th lever to register the combination. If you got this combination correct, there'll be a light above the puzzle that will stay green. That light will turn green anyways. It'll turn green when you pull the 7th lever anyways. But a few seconds later, it'll turn red if the solution was wrong. So it can be deceiving. People will pull that lever and think, oh, it turned green, I'm done. But then not notice that after they turn their back, it turned red, that they got the solution wrong. So it's really important that you look at that signal crystal for a few seconds and make sure it stays green. Once all 4 puzzles have been done, then the boss is going to spawn. There are trap boxes. Do not disable the traps. It's very, very important. What the traps do is auto-solve the puzzles, which we will be doing later in the raid. See, there's 3 rounds. And doing the puzzles like keeps the lava down. If the lava raises too much, then it's like we all take fire damage, and it can stack like 25 times, and it can get really intense. If you don't do the puzzles, you're going to be dealing with that for the entire raid. So we're going to do the puzzles to keep the lava down, and we're actually going to like not do the puzzles. Like what I'll do is I won't do my puzzle. I won't finish my puzzle until we start seeing that lava burning us, because I want you to see that. So once we finish the puzzles, the boss will spawn, and then everybody will get in position. Again, the melees will be on the right at the edge, making sure you're getting damage numbers. Tank on the left, 3 trash killers. Wooter will be keeping up dancing balls to keep the trash away from the edge so they don't turn into forge wraiths. There will be forge wraiths that spawn though, and trash killers will take care of them. There's going to be some skulls that appear out in the lava to the left or the right of the boss. Those skulls can hurt, and they will fly around a bit. They can be insta-killed with like Sunburst is great. Also, forge wraiths in at least their yellow tier, the lowest tier, can be they can be frogged, they can be mass frogged, they can be turned. So mass frog and turning is excellent for this raid because you're insta-killing them all at the same time, and if you're insta-killing them all at the same time, you don't have to worry about a nearby forge wraith evolving to a tougher one because you've killed them all with your turn or your mass frog. I think you can also use undeath to death. Anything else good for killing forge wraiths? Like insta-killing them? Oh, Sunburst will insta-kill them too if they fail their save. But single target kills can be really bad, especially if there's a bunch of forge wraiths around, because all living forge wraiths around the one you killed are going to get tougher. We're going to beat the boss down to about, 70% health, and he's going to go back into the lava. And then we got to do the puzzles again. At that point, we are going to just have a trapper go up and do the trap boxes. So that will auto-solve the puzzles. We only have to do the puzzles one time. And we're going to use the trap boxes to auto-solve the puzzles the second round. When you do the traps, you still have to pull the 7th lever to register that it's done. So that's kind of a newbie mistake, is they'll go and disable the trap boxes, but they forget to pull the 7th lever. So I'm emphasizing that. There's also going to be these coolant tanks at the bottom that after the first round they have to be done to keep the lava at bay and for the boss to respawn, or actually he'll respawn without it, but to keep the lava at bay. And the coolant tanks are a 3-lever puzzle. You basically need all 3 levers pointed at you. It's a very simple algorithm. You look at the left lever first. If it's pointed away from you, pull it towards you. Then you do the right lever. If it's pointed away from you, pull it towards you. Then you do the center lever. If it's pointed away from you, pull it towards you. That will solve it. When you have it correct, all 3 of the levers will be pointed towards you, and the signal crystal on the corresponding coolant tank will be green. There's like a dozen of them on the bottom level. I'm going to be showing that on the live stream. So once we do the trap boxes and coolant tanks and stuff, the boss will reappear, and then we're going to beat him down to like 30% health. Then he's going to go away again. You could do the puzzles at that point to make sure the lava isn't going to come back up. But here's the thing. During the final beatdown, hopefully it'll happen so fast that the fire dots won't become a problem. So we're just going to ignore the puzzles for the 3rd phase. Also, we're going to ignore the coolant tanks for that 3rd phase too, because we're not going to worry about the dots. And then we beat the boss down and we win. There's a starting hallway, which, you know, is really simple. Let's see. Go ahead and step in. Any questions before we get started? I will be calling out all directions as we're doing it. Maniac Boy, that's Niven, is a turning cleric, so he's going to do a lot of turning for us, which will help make things easier. And so during this first hallway, we're going to be dropping down a hole up there. You can see there's like a blue barrier or a cyan colored barrier. We're going to drop down that, and there's going to be a bunch of Forge Race down there. But we're actually going to let Maniac Boy go in first, and he's just going to turn as many as he can. The reason why we're going to let him go in first is because if we all start going down there and like ranging, then we're going to pull the mobs, and it's going to make it harder for him to group them up and turn them all in one turn.
I'm done.
Okay, let's go. We're going to talk to main Jalen to start it. So, Nimvin, just let us know when you're ready.
Ready.
Okay, please let Maniac Boy go in first. Everybody just stay up here. Do not range down the mobs, but you can watch what he's doing. He's just going to gather up the Forge Race and turn them. Okay, go ahead and go in. Perfect. We're left with 1 giant. That's a perfect. Because there's always going to be 1 left, right? I think it starts with a red with
Yes.
1. Okay, that's the best you can do is just have 1 giant. Welcome back, Belina. Careful the lava, it's hot. If you're new, I encourage you to get into it and see how much it hurts. It can be pretty painful. Here we want to kill these trash mobs before they run into the lava, which we did. Otherwise they would have all turned into Forge Wraiths. And we just need to beat down this Forge Wraith giant. And then we're going to go to the staging area for the main fight. These platforms will recede into the lava and then come back up, so be careful. But if you're up on this ramp, you'll be fine. Don't click in yet. If anybody wants to shrine, you can. We will not be able to because somebody went in. Alright, just go ahead and go in, guys. Since somebody went in, just go ahead and go in. Thuran. Good morning and welcome. Yes, lava is hot. That is a fact. There are the puzzles again. If you're not on a puzzle, just kill trash. So I'm doing 1. There's my solution, puzzle 1, green, yellow, yellow, green, yellow, red. So I'm going to write 1 in chat. I'm going to write 1 equals green, yellow, yellow, green, yellow, red. So I put my solution in chat just in case, you know, somebody else needs to do it. Make sure you're at the right puzzle. See the Roman numeral 1, that's my puzzle. So I'm going to pull this lever on the left. I see that it toggles the second one. And my second one should be yellow, so I'm going to keep pulling. You don't have to wait for the levers to toggle. You can pull them in rapid succession. Next one is the 5th one. My 5th one needs to be yellow. Okay, and then I'm going to pull the 3rd one. That's the first signal crystal. That one needs to be green. I'm good to go. This one toggles the 6th. My 6th one needs to be red. Also, when they start, they look red, but that's not considered red. It's like dead when it starts. So if one of your signal crystals needs to be red, you still have to pull the levers to cycle through until you get the red color, until it lights up red. Okay, that's the fourth one. My fourth one needs to be green, so that's good. And this should be the third one. The third one needs to be yellow. And there's my solution. So I'm done. I need to pull the 7th furnace main breaker lever to register that combination. Okay, so we're starting to burn. And you can see the dots. It's like a burning blood. It looks like a burning blood. It says an evil heat. That's just going to keep stacking up until these puzzles are done. I'm going to go ahead and finish my puzzle now. And that will stack up to 25 times. And now the lava recedes, the dots go away, and we can DPS the boss. The boss will come up. Bolo's going to be on the left there. DPS on right. Make sure you're close enough to get damage numbers if you're a melee. But don't fall into the lava because it will insta-kill you. Also, if you want to look back, you'll see I'll show where the dancing balls are. Here's one elevator here where they come out of. Here's another one here where they come out of. And another one on the other end. And then, Wooter, you also want to have a dancing ball about where I'm standing here. This is where they drop down from the top. Right where I'm jumping up and down.
Okay, cool.
Thank you. Okay, beat on the boss. Oops. No death timer
As soon as I
on
get up.
normal.
You.
Okay, the boss is beat down. We're going to have trappers go up and disable the trap boxes. Remember to pull the 7th lever to register it after you disable the trap. I'm going to do the coolant tanks at the bottom. If you want to, you can go ahead and help with that. Remember, you just want the 3 levers pulled towards you. Start with the left lever. If it's away from you, pull it towards you. Then the right lever. If it's away from you, pull it towards you. Then the middle lever. If it's away from you, pull it towards you. If you're not working on anything, kill trash. The signal crystal on the coolant tank will be green when it is solved. So left one is towards me, I left it. Right one is away, I pulled it. Middle one, and it's green. Left, toward me. Right's towards me, that one's done. Left, pull it towards me, that one's done. Left first, pull it towards me. Right's our, oops, I messed that one up. Okay, pull it towards me. Right one, pull it towards me. Middle one, pull it towards me, and it's done. It's always left, right, then center is the easiest little algorithm. Towards me, towards me, towards me, done. Boss is back up.
Boss is up.
Coolant tanks are done. Same configuration, DPS on right, tank on left. Trash people stay on trash. I'm not seeing my D, there's my debuff on them. I haven't seen these skulls yet.
Calls up.
Skulls on the right.
Calls right.
See them out there. The trash folk will take care of those. Boss went down. We have to kill this Forge Race Giant for the boss to reappear. We're not going to worry about the coolant tanks or the upper puzzles this time. We're just going to try to beat the boss down fast enough before those fire dots become a problem. Okay, boss is back. Once he's dead, we win. Congratulations on your first 2 out to handle. Any questions about this raid? Shrines appear if you need to raise yourself if you're dead at the end. And all the trash disappears once it completes. Chest is up top. And that concludes today's teaching raid event. High Lords, thanks so much for coming to help. And thanks so much everybody else who came to help us too.